So when we hear from Mr. Lamrock that the people should have more assistance and the government should have more humanist approach, FAPO has to support this view as a necessary first step. However, it's our opinion that this Liberal government has stalled for the past 4 years. The effort that FAPO and many other non-profits put into Claudette Bradshaw's Blueprint for Change scenario that lasted for the first 2 years of the Liberal mandate seems to have been promptly forgotten and is nowhere to be seen in the poverty reduction plan. So another scenario seems to have been launched that didn't include both FAPO and the Coalition for Social Justice to develop a poverty reduction plan that was made up of mainly organizations from St. John, including the Irvings. On the big day of the conference in St. John, chaired by the Premier, neither FAPO nor the Coalition for Social Justice were invited, but instead we were invited to a forum organized by National Council of Welfare in Fredericton on the very same day. It's like the government wasn't satisfied with Bradshaw's Blueprint for Change and decided they wanted something else. So another committee was formed and chaired by Jerry Pond, a former top executive with MB Power. This took yet another year. And now the big suggestion is to form a Crown Corporation to take care of poverty, but I have problems with that because we've been approached over the years informally by MB Power to do similar kind of thing and to take a role as a non-profit. Our job would be to go raise money from the community. And I'd really hate to see this poverty reduction plan degenerate into something that, like a kitty of money that, you know, government contributes to, business contributes to, and non-profits contribute to by going out and trying to panhandle the community for more money. And it's almost like, you know, if the kitty runs out, then the assistance runs out. And I sure hope that's not what's going to happen. Now, not to prejudice the situation, but we all know the government's record on Crown corporations at this moment, and this idea smells like we're downloading, like I was talking about. And as I say, you can't help but be cynical when you're fighting all these years to do something with poverty, and it just keeps going around in circles. And you really can't have a poverty reduction plan until you bring down the cost of energy. And I'm sorry to say, but energy and poverty reduction have to go hand in hand. Energy reduction, that is, price reduction. People think that power should be sold cheaply within New Brunswick first. We all own the transmission lines, our dams are old, they're all paid for. Most of the transmission infrastructure is old, and it's all paid for. So why can't the power go through our lines first before we export it at a price that we can afford? I mean, they do it in Quebec, you know, so that exports subsidize local price structure. If you want to do something about poverty and stimulate commercial development, industrial use, and jobs, that's the way to go. But when we sell it all out, you know, you sell out your tools as well. And finally, I know I'm on the power thing here, but the other aspect is Point Pro and the 2 years behind schedule and the mounting costs of Point Pro. And then we have looming in the background that absolutely nobody is talking about. And I tried to mention a couple of years ago, but nobody want to listen. And that is a blue ribbon panel was struck in the early 90s of dam experts, international dam experts, that's D-A-M, dam experts. And they concluded that this dam here at Mactapac should be decommissioned in 2010. Well, it's now 2010. And it's going to cost a lot of money to deal with that problem. So, what we really need, actually, more than anything, is a politically active and aware population who prevent these attitudes, the policies and practices from developing by demanding more democracy and more input and more information. Now, I'd like to say that the first time I heard Kelly speak, he doesn't know anything about this, but you might remember Kelly, was back in 1988 or 89 in Ottawa at a big hotel. And I was sitting out for lunch, and I think he was the lead speaker at the beginning of the afternoon. And I couldn't get in, the place was packed. I had to stay in the lobby and listening to Kelly speak, and everyone, you know, yay, yay, at the end of it. He was a good, really good speaker, and everyone's clapping and everything, and then the union moderator at the end of it was what's really stuck in my head. He said, wasn't that great? He said, and he's ours. And I thought to myself, oh yeah. But anyway, I bring up free trade because free trade impacts on our ability to charge cheap power rates to ourselves, because it might be, you know, against the agreement. So anyway, without further ado, and having set up a framework that, you know, sort of prejudices Kelly before he begins, I think I've earned the right to do that. Our organizations earned the right to do that. We have been struggling against the poverty situation.